Song Zhang, he's the Washington bureau chief for Shanghai Wenhui Daily. Song Zhang, welcome to our program.
Thank you.
So let's kind of dissect what Donald Trump had to say with his accusations against China. Does putting a paid advertisement in the Des Moines Register criticizing the tariffs and talking about how they're hurting farmers in America's, in the Midwest, does that amount to interfering in the elections coming up?
Oh, as I understand, I have been here for a couple of years. It's not. It's completely legal practice by this China Daily, as President Trump has said. And I think the opinions expressed in this paid advertisements is completely conventional wisdom, and it has been agreed by most of the economists and business leaders in Washington and New York. I think it's not a kind of election meddling, as President Trump has said.
Well, he went on to say other things. Yes. He said they, meaning China, they do not want me or us to win because I'm the first president ever to challenge China on trade.
I think he's not. Many previous governments, administrations have also, I think, complained to China, and we had a lot of discussions on trade. And I think the way Mr. Trump has been doing has been very controversial, and it has brought a lot of criticism from both domestic, American business industries and also from Chinese side. But that's not the first time a U.S. president has criticized China.
And it was interesting to me when President Trump was making the accusations, chairing the meeting of the UN Security Council, and the camera sort of panned to Foreign Minister Wang Yi, and he was sort of nodding his head and shaking his head. And he rejected these allegations and accusations, saying China does not interfere in any country's domestic affairs. We refuse to accept any unwarranted accusations against China. Is this, Song Zhang, comes down to politics? Is Trump getting back to China because he's upset about the trade war and tariffs and the fact that China is not budging?
I think one side is this, but another reason I think is that he is giving more pressure upon Chinese side on trade, and he wanted to get more compromise from Chinese side. And another fact is that I think he is trying to tell international community and especially his voters, GOP voters, to support him and GOP much harder in this coming midterm election. I think he's working on these two purposes.
And in the same remarks, he spoke warmly of China's President Xi Jinping, basically appreciating his efforts for diffusing the crisis with DPRK. Can President Trump have it both ways? Attack China on trade, level allegations of election meddling, and then say, I have this great relationship with
It's a kind of weird for me, but many people here in Washington, D.C. are saying it's a kind of tactic of President Trump.
Strategy.
Strategy. He, from one angle, keeps praising President Xi Jinping personally, and from another angle, he keeps blaming China for this and that, especially trade and other issues. I think he believes this strategy will work, but I think today China has realized that he is very unpredictable, and until and unless he becomes much more reasonable and predictable, there's no possibility for China and America to settle down this trade dispute.
All right, we'll leave it there. Song Zhang, thank you so much. Well, China is stressing the importance